So hey guys, so yeah, as Katie said, I'm going to be speaking to you about PPC. We're going to skip past this slide because it's pretty self-indulgent really, but who am I? I'm Rob Bridgens, I'm Head of Paid Search at Reflect Digital. So what is PPC? I'm not going to assume that you guys actually know too much about PPC. When I left school, I didn't grow up saying I want to work in PPC. I didn't know anything about it myself. It is a career that once you have experienced some other things and know what you kind of like doing, PPC will reveal itself to have a lot of those elements, and it might be the perfect career for you. But in a nutshell, PPC is any form of marketing where you pay for a user to interact with your ads. So when you search on Google, the top results that come up are ads before the organic results, and we are placing those there in front of you based on what you searched. You've got banner ads around the internet. You've got YouTube videos, the ads that get in the way before you get to see videos about cats. You've got a whole host of ads around the internet, and that is what we are trying to do. It's not just a case of paying for any traffic though, it's doing a research about what a company is selling, who their target audience is, and targeting relevant transactional terms that will lead to purchases or sign-ups that are beneficial to that company. So we're really trying to drill down to high quality transactional content. It's not just Google, as said, there's examples of ads on pretty much any platform that you will be interacting with. So on Google, it is the ads that appear at the top of the search results. On Bing, that's almost exactly the same because Bing is a carbon copy of Google these days. On Amazon, you've got promoted products. On Facebook and Instagram, you have promoted ads in your news feed. On Twitter, you've got ads that follow specific hashtags. LinkedIn, similar kind of concept to Facebook, but rather than being about selling you products or services, it's trying to sell other companies' products or services. And then on YouTube, it is the pre-roll and interstitial ads that come up. So some examples of some ads and how they look. Apologise in advance. I like Lego, new Star Wars film coming out soon, so we've got Star Wars Lego. When you make a search in Google, ads that come up at the top, you've got product shopping ads. All of those are paid for by advertisers. So they are trying to sell you products related to your search term. And then you have standard search ads. There's only one in this particular example here. Looks very similar to your organic searches. The only things that make it stand out is this very tiny ad logo. Google does its best to try and make the fact that that is a paid ad as invisible as possible. So as I say, we are trying to put ads in front of people based on what they are searching for, and trying to make you click on that ad to make a purchase. Other types of ads that we have there, remarketing and display. So as you go around to other parts of the internet, other websites, you will see banners like these. I apologise, these are old examples. This is for the iPhone XR, but those ads there, they may be following you based on the fact that you have been to the website and have looked at that phone, and now they're trying to get you back to finish purchasing it. Or it might be because they are saying that people who view The Guardian are more likely to purchase a new iPhone, so they're advertising to you there because you're looking at that content. So there's a lot of data that is shared with advertisers through cookies and things like that based on what you are looking at online, and that all goes into tailoring these ads to try and show you something that is relevant to you. You will find ads that pop up that you'll just think, this is completely irrelevant, why is this following me? And that is generally because of a bad advertiser not sort of dealing with their audience profiling well. In an ideal world, what you're seeing should be relevant to you and should make you think, I want to click on that, I want to see what that offer is. On Facebook, you'll see ads like these that come up in your your news feed. With these, they are based on your interests and people you follow on Facebook, all of that internal Facebook information. But Facebook has tags and informational cookies on many websites, especially any website that you see that has Facebook login options. And they are tracking the websites that you're going to, the kind of products you're looking at, what search terms you're looking for, and using that to direct you to have the most relevant types of ads on Facebook possible. Facebook does have some quite invasive tracking options. In America, for example, you can target people based on how many times they buy a certain type of cereal, because all information that comes off of store cards. So you can get really granular with how you're targeting people to put your promotion in front of them. On Amazon, I said earlier, a lot of the ads that are on, a lot of the products on there are actually ads. So the first row of products in pretty much any search are sponsored products, and I think it's every other row almost is a sponsored product. They don't stand out that much. Again though, they are trying to put something in front of you that you're likely to buy, so they are relevant to what you searched for. LinkedIn and Twitter, I haven't got images as examples for here. LinkedIn looks very similar to Facebook, just slightly more boring because it is targeted at more of a business side of things. It's very sort of white collar, sorry. And then on Twitter, ads on there they come up like other tweets, so they are targeting hashtags and trending topics. If you talk to an SEO, such as Kaylee, they will say that PPC is the dark side of search because we are paying for the traffic. It's not coming through organically. In reality though, PPC and SEO are very complementary to each other, and there's more similarities between them than there are differences. We have the ability to pay for traffic and get it there quickly, and get products to market, whereas with SEO you have to wait sort of 2 to 3 months for results to come through and sort of actionable information to come about. Why do I love PPC? The main reason is it's really varied. I think no matter what career you go into, find something where there's a variety of tasks for you to do. I could think of nothing worse than having to grind doing the same task day in, day out. I've been doing PPC for almost 10 years now, and I'm not bored yet. There is so many different things to do. So you've got the ability to, if you are bored of doing a particular task on a day, as long as that is not a deliverable for your client sort of that afternoon, you can decide to put it down and pick up something else. So if you're working in an agency, that might be that you pick up some work for a completely different client, just get sort of a different perspective, or you could do some different work for the same client. So you've got statistical work, so you could look at the stats of how your campaigns are performing, drill down some results, change your targeting, that kind of thing. If you're bored of doing stats, you can then go to do some creative writing. We don't write full pages like the SEO team. We usually tend to piggyback off of that content, but we are writing the ads, and you are trying to write engaging copy that is going to make someone want to click on it. And you also want to stand out compared to your competitors. If everyone's ads just look the same, like there's no sort of competitive advantage there. So we're trying to write interesting, engaging content, but that is still really relevant to what someone has searched for. Google will penalise you if your ad isn't relevant to your keyword and isn't relevant to your landing page. So there is an art to it. If you're bored of doing those, you can do some designing. So we have all of the banner ads. You can either work with a design team, sketch out some ideas and get them to bring that to life for you. Or if you've got Photoshop and you feel a bit handy at that, you can put those together yourself and get those banners out directing to the public, people seeing and clicking on those. You can direct videos. So YouTube advertising is huge. All of those pre-roll ads that are out there, you may not have the abilities to actually make that video, but you could storyboard it, come up with the idea, work that out and pass it on to a design or video team who will create that for you. So, completely different line of work. And then we have working on landing pages. So again, it may not be the actual content in there, but when we have someone come through to a landing page, we want them to make a purchase or follow an action that we have paid for them to go there for. So it might be a case that you need to change the call to actions on there, add a different button, a different color, a different form, different wording to try and make them take that action. But all in all, you should never really be bored with it. So as I say, whether you come into marketing or not, find a job that is varied and keeps you interested. One of the other things that's really appealing to me is that all of the results in paid search are pretty much immediate. You can see the effect of what you have targeted within hours, and so you can see if those changes that you've made have had a positive effect, and then iterate that out into other campaigns and follow it through. There's no need to wait for 3 months wondering whether it's worked, only to find out that it hasn't, and then having to start again. You can track it and move on immediately. So I was just saying it's trackable. So we have an Alexa here. There's lots of questions about whether Alexa is actually tracking everything you say, but we have all of those things I've already said about tracking cookies and things on other sites. But on your own website, you've got the ability to track where people are, where they got to on your site, whether they got through to the checkout, whether they purchased, what they purchased, how much. So you can see the performance of your activity, as I say, within hours, and make changes as needed. You can also make the most of opportunities. Sorry for the same image being used here. So if you're working with a small client or your own business and you've got a product that you want to get to market, but there are much more established companies there, getting to the top of the organic listings is very difficult. So if you, for example, had made your own shoe company, if you were trying to rank for trainers, you're not going to be there. Nike will be at the top, Adidas will be at the top. You're not going to be anywhere there without extensive SEO work. If you're prepared to pay for it, and if you're targeting your keywords cleverly, you can compete with those big players immediately. Get your product in front of people, get them seeing it, considering it and purchasing it. And you can get new products to market fast. So even if you're an established company, if you're coming out with a new product that no one knows about, you can get it up there quickly. And you can use paid search to cover weak spots for your company. So you might have a really mature SEO campaign going, but because of the amount of time it takes to work on everything, you won't be ranking as high as possible for everything. It's not possible to cover all of those spots. So you can use paid search to make sure you're ranking against your competitors there whilst you're waiting for all the organic team to do that work. The best thing though is you're spending other people's money, and who doesn't enjoy that? So in 2017 in America alone, on Google, $109 billion was spent on search ads. And it's really rewarding when you are putting together a strategy for a client, understanding what their business is and what the product they want to sell. You make a strategy, you build out an account, let it run, and then you see those results. And if you're making money for them, it's really rewarding to see that. So who is suited to a career in paid search? It's sort of very similar to what Kaylee was saying about SEO. If you have an interest in statistics, you can write a clear sentence in English, you can do paid search. You don't need to be a fully qualified statistician or anything like that. If you're not great at maths, we can teach you how to interpret results and that side of things. Equally, if you are great at stats but don't really like writing that much, you can be taught how to write compelling ads for it. So you don't have to have everything there, you just need to have an interest and have a part of it that you like doing, and the rest will come with training. And you can get involved with all elements of paid search, or you can really focus down on one. So generally when you come into the industry, you will start working on a bit of everything, get to know what they are all about, but you might decide YouTube, that's for me. I want to be doing the video ads there. Or it might be that you want to focus on social marketing and Facebook and Instagram, and you want to be targeting people on there. and there's definite scope to specialise. So if there's something that you really enjoy, you can make a career specifically out of that. Do you need a business degree? No, you don't. I did go to university, but I did marine biology. Absolutely nothing to do with PPC. The only thing that I've taken from that degree is my sort of love of stats, but that's brought through. But other than that, there's nothing from my degree that follows through. How do you get into PPC? Same as any other job. Look for availability that's out there. Get in touch with agencies. Get in touch with companies, and see what is there. As I said, my own background. I didn't go through a degree platform. I just started reaching out. I decided that I was interested in sales. I enjoyed stats. I didn't really want to work with people too much, so PPC was the perfect option. And there are free qualifications out there, and so Google, Bing, and some of the other platforms have academies online completely free. They used to be you have to pay £50–70 for them. Now you can go on there, get Google or Bing certified, show to a prospective employer that you are interested about this. You've gone out of your way to learn a bit more. They are foundational. There's so much more that you need to learn to do it, but they're a really good starting point. And as I say, they are free. Career progression. When you start, you could starting salary sort of anywhere between £18,000 to £24,000, depending on whether you're inside London or not, and whether it's agency or in-house. But as you learn and specialise, you can progress quite quickly, and you might decide to move jobs fairly rapidly as well, and that gives you lots of opportunities for salary progression. Where should you start your career? So you've got the option mainly between in-house versus agency. So agency side of things will be much higher paced, and you'll generally have more experts to learn from. I would recommend starting in an agency if you have the option. You can then go in-house, which will be a smaller team. So if you start there, there's generally less support, but long term it is a lower paced job, and you get to specialise in one business, get to know everything about it. And there's nothing to say that you have to stay in either of those. You can flip-flop between them as you go through your career, and see what you like more. One thing to note though is not all agencies are created equal. So when you are joining an agency, just make sure that there's a good platform for you to actually get training. You don't want to be in there just doing like dog's bodies jobs of sorting through data. You want to be actually trained on real actionable stuff, so that you are learning. There can be quite a high rate of churn of employees in agencies, and so you just try and find a decent agency, have a look on LinkedIn, see how long people have been in those agencies, and just get an idea of what they are like as a business. The future of PPC. So there is a lot of talk at the moment about AI and machine learning automating these jobs, and people worried that they won't exist in the coming years. It's just not the case. Whereas certain tasks will be automated and speeding up how PPC works, for your business to stand out against competitors, you need to have someone on there managing it, making sure the ad copy is unique, engaging. If everything is left to the robots, everything will look the same, and there'll be no point in it. So it is a safe employment journey to go on. That said though, if you are interested in coding or anything like that, hold on to that interest, because in the future it will definitely be useful. You can write scripts and things like that to help you with paid search. If you don't like coding, find a friend that does, and buy them a coffee and get them to write things for you.